Good evening. I am Kamau Kujichagulia, and this is On the Case with Kamau Kujichagulia, where each week we bring on a very special person or people to discuss what they do for us here in the city of Trenton. This week we're going to have, I love this, a father and daughter conversation with Akey and Akeya Brown. It's great when a man wants to name his daughter after him, and I love that. So we're going to have Akey and Akeya Brown on talking with us. Also, my firstborn, who in another, today's only the 9th, so about another 13 days or so, he'll turn that magic number of 50. Ha! Come on here, son. Let me talk to you. Like that, huh? Yeah, I'm not one for keeping stuff quiet.
I can see. Yes, I'll be 50 in a couple
50
weeks.
years old, my son.
Man.
All right, it's good.
Pop, you got a 50-year-old.
Yep, I do. Well, your mama does. I don't have I wasn't around back then. I'm young. Oh, I was about to say something about that woman. I ain't gonna say nothing about it. Okay.
She not young, huh?
I ain't saying. I tell you, I wasn't gonna say nothing. Now, how you been?
I've been well, Pop. I've been well, getting it together.
Okay. This councilwoman, and I think it's Sayreville, young lady, 30 years old, shot and killed, sitting in her car in front of her own home. And I don't know why. I mean, I'm hearing things like it was a political hit, it was the mafia hit, something, but what's the reason to kill a young 30-year-old municipal council person?
I have absolutely no idea, Pop. I also heard it could have had something to do with, the husband she married.
Yeah.
Yes. That's just weird.
It is.
And they don't seem to be getting anywhere.
No. You know what? It bothers me that, we spend millions and millions and $1 million on police technology, all these cameras and gunshot alert alarms, and somebody can just walk up to somebody, shoot them, and then just drive off. Like,
Yep.
I don't know whether they drove off or not. I don't know what happened. But anyway, that's just something I wanted to bring up. And I hope that, they find out why this young woman was just gunned down like that in the streets.
Yeah, senseless. Seems
very senseless and sad. Very sad. But anyway, let's bring on Akey and Akeya Brown
of the Boozer Bud podcasts.
Boozer Bud. Hi, how you doing?
Hello.
How you doing today?
It's good to see you. What's
Thank
that?
you.
What's that you got behind you there, brother? A green screen?
What's that?
What do you have behind you? A green screen? Oh Lord!
Oh
Lord!
Fly, Eagles, fly.
Well, this is not that type of show.
Okay. I'll refrain.
E-A-G, yeah. Not that I have. Well, I do. I got a lot against Eagles. I only look at football to see the Eagles lose.
Oh man, well you ain't get much enjoyment this year then.
No, hardly any at all.
Eagles look good, man.
That boy, that team played so well. It almost brought me around to wanting to see them win. I was happy for them.
Oh man, look at that. If we can change one person, I hope it's you.
I like Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
I like Jalen Hurts. I can't stand the Eagles, but I like Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, very much. Every time I saw him throw a pass, all the receiver did was put his hands up like that, and it just went right there. Wasn't no spectacular catches. It was right there. It was amazing.
Bread in the basket.
Yep.
So I wish them well, but I want Kansas City to win.
Okay. I can respect that.
So, why don't you tell us something? Oh, I'm Akeya. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
That's good. Good. Well, let me start with you. Because you probably more interesting than that old man anyway, right? Okay.
That's
Tell me, you have a podcast?
Yeah, we do. We have a podcast where we really just talk about cannabis. Me and my dad, we share our story. We invite other people to share the story. It's been dope.
Okay. How did that start?
Really just conversations. My dad will tell you a lot about his own story, but when he came home, from miss about 15 years together. So we just had all these conversations. And one day I was just like, my dad was talking. I'm like, other people need to hear this. Like the stuff that we're just saying in the living room right now. My dad was like, you know what? Like, I actually been thinking about that. Like, I need to go ahead and start me a podcast. And so, I kind of been in the space where I like make content for my own businesses. So it just felt right. And that's just how we started.
You say your own businesses. You have other businesses?
Yes, I do.
What else do you have?
I have a skincare, hair and skincare business called Black Vanity. Everything's all natural, handcrafted. And then I have my digital marketing agency where I help business owners use content to build relationships with customers and make more money. So those are my two businesses.
This content thing, what do you do? Like websites and stuff like that?
I do websites. I do social media posts. I do YouTube. I've done a lot of work with different entrepreneurs in the city too.
Okay, well, we may have to sit down and talk with you. I'm trying to get a website done right now as we speak.
I got you.
And I keep asking people, and they keep saying, "Okay, I can do that," and I don't hear from them no more.
Well, I may seem biased, but I will say she's the best.
You all right with me?
Right.
Akey, how you
Yes,
doing?
sir.
You all right?
I'm good.
You see, Temple Harmon says we need her for Parade Us. We're planning a parade for Juneteenth.
Oh, I would love that.
We need a website.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, Michael, you get her information, and we'll be in touch very, very soon. I need a website now.
Okay, I got you.
Okay, very good. Akey.
Yes, sir.
How you doing? You got this. You got your daughter has got you on this podcast talking about marijuana. Give me the background. Let people know where you're coming from.
I'm a lifelong Trenton resident.
Okay. Well, that's always a good thing.
Educating the Trenton public schools up until about my freshman year of high school, where my mom deemed it necessary to send me to preparatory schools in the suburbs. So I attended PDS 4 years, graduated, then attended Howard University for 2 years.
Okay.
I'm also a product of my environment. So in the environment, I was introduced to cannabis very early in my life. I found it to be very beneficial for me, but was deemed a pariah by certain people. And unfortunately, I spent about 14 years of my life incarcerated due to narcotics charges, which were nothing but marijuana, and unlawful possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. Right? Mm-hmm. I was taken away from this sweet young lady of mine, my daughter, Akeya. And, after doing all my time and not really knowing how she viewed my incarceration, I have limited conversations on telephones and limited conversations during visits. So I thought I knew, but one day I let her open up and express to me, how did my incarceration make her feel? How did my absence make her feel? Does she still love me? And I was hit with a hard truth, right? And, a lot of blame was placed on me, but I understood the blame and the hurt. I understood the way that the system was devised in order for these type of things to happen. So I opened up a conversation with my daughter, and I got very candid with her very early so that we can dispel some of the rumors and some of the clouds that may have been over me, right? Throughout her own course, through experience, she learned a little bit more. Throughout her own research, she found out a little bit more about her father, from her mother, from her father's friends, from her father's family. And prior to coming home, while in the halfway house, she confessed a truth to me. Now, as a father locked up for 14 years and a budding young woman leaving high school telling me that she has something to tell me, coming from our community, my mind went 1,000 places. The last thing I thought about was cannabis, marijuana. Her confession to me was that she smoked marijuana. I almost jumped for joy. And both of you being else, fathers, you probably understand. My jump for joy coming from the ghettos and from an impoverished place, knowing what she's faced with, knowing the perils that may lie before her. I was afraid of teen pregnancy, depression and thoughts of suicide, because that's the environment and society in which we live in now. I had no clue what it. So when she said cannabis, I jumped for joy. She thought I would be upset because of my past ordeal, but my situation isn't due to cannabis. My situation is due to people's opinions about cannabis.
It's a system.
So never once did I get upset with her for using cannabis. I know who I am, and I never thought it made me a bad person, an unlawful person, an untrustworthy person, right? No negativity was around me because of cannabis, right? So now we in a place, when she told me we weren't in this place now, so it wasn't legal yet, right? Once I expressed to her that I supported her, there was nothing wrong with her smoking it. I don't look at her. I'm actually quite happy that she shared this with me.
Mm-hmm.
We delved deeper. And then I asked her about her relationship with cannabis. And that's how this whole podcast started, like a true conversation between a father and a daughter. And the way I parented my daughter, she's always known cannabis her whole life. I just didn't want her to grow up blaming cannabis for taking her father away, or her father for choosing cannabis over her, because neither were true.
Got you.
We have a system that is as ugly as it can possibly be. You know, we have a system that for so many years beat up and destroyed or tried to destroy so many lives over something which now they want to make billions of dollars off of.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Does that come up in your conversation at all?
A lot, because that's pretty much, without getting too deep, because I would definitely like people to tune in, right? And what I'm saying is, I am very fine with legalization. We have to start somewhere. We have to get to a place where we need to be, where we should have been ages ago, right? But we got to make it truly legal. Okay? And
now, when you say make it truly legal, how do you mean that?
If it's truly legal, I should be able to grab a seed right now, cultivate the plant, and sell it at my own, as long as I pay my taxes to the government on it. Right? So I should be just like any other farmer. I should be able to take my crop to a farmer's market. I should be able to market my crop. I should be able to sell my crop as long as I pay my taxes on it. Shouldn't need licenses and meeting FDA regulations. I'm growing something organically. You don't do that with roses in my home. They're legal.
It's true. That's true. Right. Now, is that the way New Jersey has it set up?
Yes, right now it's set up in a way. Shout out to Leo Bridgewater, okay? Because
Bridgewater,
he is definitely working to smooth out a lot of the rough edges. But you got to get your foot through the door first. So it may look great to a consumer, that it's legal, right? So if the only thing you think about is consuming the product, you ain't got to worry about police or, you know, certain stigmas that come with that part of it. But let's take it further. And you want to be a distributor. You want to be a cultivator, right? You can't just do that on your own. And then once you even get licensed, capital. A lot of people don't understand this. The capital that it's going to take for you to flourish in the cannabis industry. Right? And we've yet to see what the ramifications or penalties will be for those caught operating outside of the guidelines of the law.
Now, if you grow your own, that's illegal?
That's illegal in New Jersey right now.
But consuming cannabis is legal.
It's legal recreationally and medicinally. And we need to understand those two differences.
What are the differences?
Medicinally, they're both sold in the dispensaries, right? But medicinally, you need a card. You're
Really?
afforded a certain amount per month.
Mm-hmm.
We keep tabs on you, right?
And you can also only see certain doctors to give you the prescription.
Exactly.
But why do you need a prescription now if it's legal recreationally?
Well, I know on the medical side, not to cut you off, Dad, but
no,
on the medical side, they are taxed less than on the recreation side. So that's one element of it. Okay. And then on the medical side, they may get access because not every dispensary sells recreational or adult use is what you'll see, marijuana. Some dispensaries only sell to medical patients, and they come with their own set of perks within those institutions.
So is medical marijuana stronger than recreational or vice versa?
No.
No, in my opinion, no.
Okay.
No. So there are pros and cons to this, of course, like we know with anything, right?
What's the pros?
The pros are.
I mean, I'm talking about the way that New Jersey has it set up. What's the pros?
The pros are places in which the transactions occur. We don't have to go to back alleys no more. You got to worry about the police or things of that nature. You can go to a building with security and purchase your stuff, right?
Don't a lot of people still go on the street?
Of course.
What do they call that?
Will
legacy,
always exist. Right? It will always, yes. Yes, because let's look at it from a financial standpoint. If I go into a dispensary and spend $55 for an amount of weed that I can get the way I've been procuring my weed for $20, and they're comparable in quality and quantity, why would I go pay $55 for something I can get for $20?
But I think that goes back to like the capital of it. I guess I would say that's a con because there's no real equity push as far as the capital on the business side. But then it's like you have to have money to consistently go to a dispensary. Like it's expensive. You know, I've seen when adult use first became legal and you could buy it from different dispensaries. There was only a select few dispensaries, but honestly, things that might sell for maybe $40 on the street was $125 after tax in the dispensary. So it's like it's the same quantity, but you're getting taxed crazy, and we don't see on the business.
So if I take you quickly, not to cut her off, but just real quickly, just give you a skeletal overview of. Look at it from the cultivator. All right, look at what the government has done by making themselves the third party in this transaction. The cultivator now has to pay more taxes and these and this. So the price goes up. So it's not, you're going to get certain cultivators that like the black market more than they like the legal market. If a cultivator if they can harvest 50 pounds per harvest, let's just say. And I'm just throwing out numbers. These numbers are fictitious, hypothetical numbers just to get an understanding of the concept I'm talking about. But if a cultivator can come up with 50 pounds of marijuana and it's now legal, and when they were doing it on the legacy side, is which those that we call that were a part of this industry when it was just black market and still are a part of the industry, whether they transferred over or they're trying to transfer over, we call that the legacy side of the industry, right? Mm-hmm. Those who were in this since the legacy side, if I could make 10,000, and it's just a rough number just to throw out there. If I could make 10,000 off of 50 pounds, selling it on the black market, why would I then, and that's profit I'm talking about, why would I then take a profit of only 1,000 to sell it to the government so they can sell it medicinally?
Yeah, I can see that point. So so you can't sell it on the street now, or just like before, like you couldn't sell it before?
No.
You have to have a license to sell.
Okay, but do they still arrest people for that?
So they're not arresting people for possession from my understanding, but what it's going to turn into is you don't have a license. So now you have to pay exorbitant fines, or now you're facing jail time because you're selling without a license. Like the charge will change. It won't be.
Ain't that a bunch of mess, right?
Right.
So they still got their hands around our necks, is what you're saying?
Yes.
If we're not,
they're just choking you. They're choking you a little less now.
All right, or choking you differently. Instead of coming up in front of you, they're coming behind you and putting their thumbs over your throat. You know.
Well, we still being lynched modern day, but it's just we're using different things for the rope now. That's all.
I see. That's interesting. Because I don't smoke that stuff. I stopped that 50 years ago, almost.
Right. Now what I love about that statement?
What?
That you stopped it, which means you started at one time.
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Who's to say? I believe it just should have always been a personal choice of yours. If you chose to stop, like cigarettes,
right,
and you thought it was better for you to stop, then you should have been. But who's to say if it had legalization back then that you would have ever stopped?
Okay, but I was saying that to say that I don't like to smoke it, but I like to grow it.
Right.
I've always liked growing it.
Well, this industry isn't about just the flower either. So you got topicals, you got edibles, tinctures, right? And then we even talking about you get fabric from cannabis, hemp fabric. We can make clothes, sneakers, rags.
Are you into that?
I'm into everything involving cannabis. Like that's how I feel about the plant.
But
it's going to be people that want to work with cannabis. They're never going to think about smoking. They only want to work with the fibers of the hemp plant because they like the durability of the fiber and believe that they can make great articles with this fiber versus cotton, versus polyester, versus silk.
A license, right?
Yes, you need a license to do anything with cannabis.
Yeah. Like personally, from my experience with formulating with Black Vanity, I formulate like all my own products. So you can work with hemp. Like hemp, you can find like hemp seeds, hemp oil that you can find in ShopRite or Walmart. Honestly,
CBD. Can you talk about the CBD?
Yeah, CBD is a whole nother lane. Like I have to be registered to sell CBD. You can't just, even though CBD doesn't get you high, people always think when they hear cannabis, they think THC, but cannabis is an entire plant with different parts. So THC is what is known to get people high, what you experience, the experiential feel. But CBD actually does not get you high at all, but it has pain relieving properties. It helps people to focus, and you might see a lot of health food stores starting to use it more and more now. But on the business side, I can't sell CBD without a license either.
Wow.
And I definitely can't sell CBD, and I can't sell CBD in certain online markets either.
It just, well, it doesn't amaze me that they've kept the shackles on it. But it's just, when they gonna act right, I mean, think about it. You spent 14 years behind bars for marijuana.
Right.
What sense?
So imagine how bitter I could feel right now in 2023. I mean, this was just 2005 when I came home in 2019. So I got incarcerated in 2005. I come home in 2019.
Akey, I didn't know you did that long.
Yes, sir.
I didn't realize that.
Yes,
One
sir.
day,
And then, like, you look at, like, for me, put it into perspective. I'm 22. I was born in 2000, and my dad left in 05. My dad came back 2019. so
if I tell it in relation, if I give it to you in a relation of her life, I left before she started kindergarten, the summer before her starting kindergarten, and I come home the summer after, or the spring of her freshman year of college.
For marijuana, for something now they want to act like it's legal,
right?
So that like you say, I mean, this is what we're talking about, money, because you have to have the capital to get the permits and to pay for whatever you need to pay for to get legal.
Like I said, shout out to Leo Bridgewater. He's made it. He's trying to make it where it's educational programs and it's things to get people involved, so that, like an apprenticeship type of thing, so that you're not being left out or ostracized from this industry because you don't have the capital or the ways in which to get that capital.
Who is Leo Bridgewater?
Leo Bridgewater. Let's talk about it.
Who is Leo Bridgewater?
Right? That's family to all of us right here.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
He is a veteran of our esteemed United States military, right? And he is an advocate of cannabis.
Okay. Is he partly responsible for making it legal in New Jersey?
In my eyes, he's wholly responsible.
Okay.
It's he and a team group of maybe, I don't want to be wrong, so don't quote me on this, but it's between 10 to 20 people, this group that pushed for the legislation that got the bill passed for legal marijuana in New Jersey.
Okay.
Now I know up in New York, Dashida Dawson, which is
shout out to Dashida Dawson.
Dash Diva.
My baby girl again.
Dash Diva.
She is now the cannabis queen for the city of New York City.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is. I had the wonderful opportunity of engaging her in conversation and picking her brain at a Canna Gather event in Jersey City, New Jersey. She, along with Leo Bridgewater, invited myself and Shira to partake in, because I've been a part of this legacy industry for a long time. So it's almost right that I get into the legal side, right? Why would I shy away from it now that it's legal?
Right.
And why would I be held from it?
Now, I know without the money that it's difficult to get into the legal side of it, and they're trying to make it so that you don't have to have that bankroll, that big knot bankroll, for the legacy side to be able to get into the legal side.
Well, the only way we do that is to inform the people, and like anything, our politicians represent us. I don't think people really understand the magnitude of that. I think a lot of people run around under the impression that we're under the thumb of our politicians. When the people start enacting their power, and so the more we debunk and demystify and destigmatize some of the myths that surround cannabis, the more we educate people, hopefully then the people, because you don't have to for taking it to be pro-cannabis.
Okay.
All you need to do is see the benefits outweighing the detriments to support something.
Right. And you get on this conversation about what's better or what's worse when whether cannabis is better or worse than alcohol, but that's not really a germane conversation because they're two different animals.
Yes, they are.
Cannabis has never been shown to be detrimental to people's health. Never. So,
we can tackle this. Cannabis was once a medicine on the AMA charts, the American Medical Association.
Was it really? Yeah.
It's not until 1931 that it's villainized.
Okay. Now you say what we need to do is to educate the
yes,
people.
Sir.
That's what you do with your podcast, right?
That's correct, sir.
Okay, when is your podcast?
Kid, why don't you inform the people about the podcast, please?
Yes, so our podcast is called Boozer Bud Podcast. So we're
Boozer Bud.
There's a lot of meaning behind that name that we
like what?
We kind of go through. I'll let my dad explain where the boozer came from, but we do talk about it, and it's a very special lady that's common.
That's right. It's a nickname given to me by her grandmother, my impeccable mother, Niecy Brown, rest in peace. And she called me Boozer. The name is pretty much explanatory. An event happened when I was a young child, and it stuck with me ever since. I didn't like it as a child. I ran away from it. I embrace it wholeheartedly now.
I heard that.
And
I heard that.
Hence Boozer Bud.
So, Akeya, tell me about your podcast. When is it?
Yeah.
Where can we find it? What?
So our podcast, we're dropping new episodes every week. But our podcast, you can listen to it on YouTube, on Spotify, and also Anchor FM. But yeah, so Boozer Bud Podcast, we talk about a variety of topics. Sometimes it's just us talking. But then sometimes we also invite other people in the cannabis industry to kind of share their perspective and engage in conversation. And we find with every conversation is we sort of dig out these new gems about cannabis, just hearing people talk about their relationship with cannabis. So yeah, we're on social media as well, Instagram and Facebook.
I've had a little bit of experience with cannabis. Recently stopped smoking cannabis, but I still feel the need. So can you guys educate me on alternatives to smoking?
Sure it can, but that would take it's almost like a doctor-patient relationship. So, there are many alternatives to smoking. You have drops, you have edibles, you have maybe butters you might like to bake with if you bake, right?
You say butters?
Yes.
Like butter?
Extract the oil and make a butter. Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. 50 years ago, we didn't have all that.
Trust me, I know.
Yeah, and it's crazy you say that too, because that's a question that we actually get a lot. There's a few people that just are like, I don't want to smoke, but I'm even finding that people are even trying to incorporate cannabis into like almost like a diffuser, like where you don't have to smoke, it'll just blow smoke out. You just have to exist in the room.
Right.
So you have different ways that people are incorporating cannabis because a lot of people don't want to smoke now. That's just, I guess,
you got drops that you can put in a glass of water.
Yeah.
You just need to know your dosage for whatever, symptom you're trying to treat or whatever goal you're trying to achieve.
Not dosage where it's like, oh, you have like more so what's your personal tolerance level? Do you just need a little bit of cream on your knee and you straight for the day? Or is it something that you need to keep applying? Like the same way, like, for example, like I'm not a person that smokes all day, every day. I smoke pretty like key points in my day, but I especially like to smoke at night before sleeping because marijuana, weed in any form, helps me to kind of slow down. Like I tend to have a million things going on in my head. So it allows for me to kind of like slow down and chill out. And that's a part of my like unwinding process. So, but someone else might like to smoke when they first wake up, so it's very personal.
That's how I was.
Which is why we have the podcast, to share these experiences so that you even know the difference between maybe an indica and a sativa, and what a hybrid do, and whether this is something you want because you're looking to be energetic, or do you want to be drowsy right now because you're trying to relax? Or do you suffer from anxiety or depression? Are you a manic depressive? Like, these are things like, because all this is going to affect how this medicine, this herb, this plant affects you.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you say what day and time the airs?
Oh, so the podcast usually we're starting to drop now on Friday, so you'll be able to watch it, new episodes every Friday.
Okay. Very good. And you can do that anytime during the day, anytime, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I got you. Very good. Well, this has been most interesting. It's been a long time since I dealt with, you call it cannabis now. I used to call it pot. I always OD'd.
And see, that itself, right? As we laugh, but believe it or not, you can overdose on almost anything. So
I overdosed though. I smoked it all day until there I smoked it.
Wake up, lunchtime, pre-lunch, after lunch, pre-dinner.
So I burned myself out, I guess.
So it might be safe to say you was a part of the Cheech and Chong.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
Some days they were good. Now I'm not gonna lie, they were good until they were bad. You know what
That's
I mean?
right.
So I'm not complaining. So, well, I'm glad. Akeya, nice to have met you. And I'm like I said, I'm interested in this website. Very interested in website. Okay. Also, your cosmetic business.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy to hear that, and you make up all your stuff, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm happy to hear that you have that ambition, that entrepreneurial spirit. I love it. Very good. Brother man, it's been good. It's been good talking to you. I know you with my little niecey over there. I guess she ain't little no more.
Somebody special.
Appreciate that.
I know she used to tell me, well, tell me about you. And I'm going up to see him. I said, well, baby girl, he kind of he locked up and everything, right? Come to my mind, I said, he must be a special dude for her to do this for this long. And I see right on there, brother.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate that, man.
Yes, sir.
I definitely do.
Okay, y'all. It was nice talking with you. And Akeya,
yes,
we're gonna get together so that we can get this website done. All right.
I'm gonna contact you tomorrow.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. Good night now. Y'all take care, okay?
Take it easy. Tell Shira I said peace and love you.
Peace,
love
family.
You. Okay. All right, family. Good enough. Well, that was outstanding there, Michael. I learned. I didn't know. I didn't realize that New Jersey rain on us. I thought when they legalized it, that they let us go.
No, you know they got it.
How's
Niall?
Okay.
Yashana, my cousin Yashana. How you doing tonight?
I got my invite to today, Shauna. So,
and just so everybody know, Leo Bridgewater and is my first cousin, and Dashida Dawson happens to be the mother of my firstborn nephew, Jordan. So they're both in the cannabis industry. Wanted to give shout outs to them both and invites to the show.
Oh, we're gonna get Dashida. We're gonna get her. That ain't no problem.
You know?
Hey, Leo?
I'm gonna get Leo too.
All right, that's a good thing. That's my nephew.
We might put them on together.
Okay, we can do that.
All right.
Next week, who we got?
Next week is Jeffrey Augustin of Deals. West State, the corner of West State and Broad, downtown Trenton. He has a store and it's a good brother. About to bring him on next week.
Deals. I've been dealing with this young man for a few years now. He's from Haiti. He's a Haitian. You know how much I love Haiti.
I know you like that.
How much I love Haiti. Matter of fact, my doctor is a Haitian. I went to talk to him today. All we talk about is Haiti when I go.
I need to go. I need to go see him.
Oh yeah, you came up in the conversation too.
Oh really?
Yes, you did. Okay. He wanted to know how you was doing. I said,
I need to go see him.
Okay, well, go see him. You know, drop that dime. Well, you know. So next week we got Jeffrey Augustine from Deals, and the week after that we got Gene Bowie, who is an entrepreneur. He's I forget the kind of company that he is. But anyway, we got him. He's also on the school board. Brother on the school board. I got to find out whether he's going to run for these positions when they come up. Now that we're going for elected school board, we hope so, because like he says, the school board is working nicely right now, and we want to continue what's going on with that continuity. Okay, so next Thursday, 8:00, we're gonna have Jeffrey Augustine from Deals. This brother is dynamic. He's dynamic because he has come from here and he's going over to here. You know,
definitely
sure. Love his story.
Definitely has a lot of ideals.
Yes, he does.
And he does it down at that store, Deals. If you need something, if you need to look good for going out for a night on the town, go down and see my man Jeff. Deals.
That's right.
He's right at the corner of West State and Broad.
Okay. Well, really, it's East State, but
East State.
Yeah.
East State. My bad.
But you don't know that because you're not really from Trenton. You know?
Man, whatever. Eggers Crossing.
That's right. Oh, ain't nothing wrong with the crossing either now. Hell to the crossing and the park. Don't forget the park.
The village.
That's right. I was a park. Eldridge Park person. Anyway, let me stop this. Let me get off of here. Son, good being with you. Appreciate all your hard work. Let me give a shout out to Sean Jenkins and to Altundi. Because y'all are our production team. Y'all the ones who put this show together and make sure that we get guests on here and make sure that everything runs smoothly, and you do all the advertising and the inviting. So I just want to give out a shout out to y'all and let you know that we love what you do. When you get the background information, you give me questions to ask, and I may not do it, but I'm always trying to do better. So next week, Jeffrey Augustine, we love you very, very much. We appreciate you being with us, and we will see you next Thursday at 8 p.m. Good evening.
Good night.